All right. Welcome to Luxury Cruising. I'm really excited to have you all back. And I have a massive treat for you today. I'm really, really excited. I've got Pippa here today, who is I have been a long time follower of hers and of Ocean Time, and she's going to tell us about her experience on Quantum of the Seas sailing in Star Class. Pippa, tell the audience all about you.
Well, thank you. Just a bit of background. I actually used to work for Royal Caribbean Celebrity in the casino. I worked on board for 8 years and absolutely loved it, traveled the world. And now, as a passenger, going back on these cruise ships, I see the best of both worlds. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy my time, and it's reminiscing of my 20s.
Yeah.
So, to be able to cruise Star Class, I've always wanted to. The price was definitely right. And if you want me to talk about the pricing later, I'm more than happy to. It was a 7-night cruise on Quantum of the Seas to the South Pacific out of Brisbane. Um, at about a month beforehand, you get a survey where you fill out and put in all your information, answer some interesting questions. They're just trying to get to know who you are as a person, I guess. And then 2 weeks out, your Royal Genie, which is your sort of butler, looks after you, your concierge, sort of 24/7. They're your go-to person, the Royal Genie, and they reach out and just make sure if you need anything. So what's included in Star Class is the dining, the drinks package, unlimited drinks package, the unlimited dining, the internet. You have daily laundry service, which is just fantastic.
Really nice.
And then you have the Royal Genie that will just sort of be at your beck and call, but they can do anything for you. They make your dreams come true.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just to mention, like, the laundry service, I think is one of the, like, underappreciated perks. Because so many of us, if you want to travel with, like, just a carry-on bag, or you're worried, like, am I gonna overpack? Am I gonna underpack? It's like, you don't have to worry. You could basically bring, like, 3 outfits, and they just keep laundering them for you. I think you can really fill up your bag with mostly shoes and not have to worry about the clothes.
I totally agree. Like when I talk about Star Class, that is top two of
Yeah.
the bonus
Yeah.
benefits from it. I loved it. I took
Yeah.
off clothes that I would never take on a cruise because they would get too wrinkly and stuff like that. But it's like, hey, Star Class, I'm getting laundry daily. I could easily take amazing outfits. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's really good. It's sort of like, number 1 is my Starbucks being delivered in the morning, and number 2 is the laundry service.
Yeah, yeah. And then like even the cabin itself, like it was a grand loft suite, 2-story, 2 bathroom. That it was at the back of the ship, so you had the wake, huge balcony,
Yeah.
just magnificent.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So what made you decide on this particular sailing and this particular room?
So it actually came down to money. My friend reached out and she said, "Look, there's a bargain. There was 3 of us. It was $10,000. So it actually worked out to be only like just under $500 per person per day. And I think for what you get, it is amazing. So we definitely jumped on it because I don't sort
Yeah.
of see those prices daily.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think also when we look at, luxury cruising, and people are sometimes sticker shocked by the price, but when you factor in, if you're getting a good price, maybe you're booking it super early. And then if you are someone who likes the ultimate dining package, if you are someone who likes to get a drink package, all of that is included. And the other part that I also factor in is You get double crown on Royal Caribbean, you get double crown and anchor points. So I think like, okay, well, this is, let's say it's a 7-day. Like, what is another 7-day gonna cost me?
Mm-hmm.
So that cost, that also factors into my cost differential when I'm thinking about,
Yeah.
what kind of a stateroom I'm gonna book.
Yep. Yep. Fair enough. And absolutely, if you're going to get the drinks package, the dining package, the internet anyway, like
Yep.
for Australia, that's like $100 for the drinks, $100 for the dining, and say $50 for the internet daily. You take that off the price. I was only paying like $250 for the room and for the Royal Genie. Like,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yes. And not to harp too much on Starbucks because I'm not a I'm not a stockholder in Starbucks, but also that is not included in your drink package. Normally, like if you were to buy the drink package,
True, true.
it's not included. So that's just another added
Yeah.
perk.
And then like when we got to the port, we went to like the land genie. They checked you straight in. They escorted you throughout the whole terminal. They hand you over to the Royal Genie on board the ship. We went straight to our cabin, unpacked. She took us, we went up to the Dodgem cars, bumper cars.
Yeah.
So and we went, front of the line, went straight on to that experience that it's just those little things where, again, sort of money can't buy that,
Right.
it's sort of time saving. And she booked all our reservations for our restaurants. We told her which shows we wanted to go to, where we wanted to seat in the theater. Like we turned up 2 minutes before the show started. Our drinks were on our seats, and
Oh,
we just
that's
watched the
sweet.
show.
That's a really interesting. So many things that you said were super interesting. And the first thing I'm going to just say about the bumper cars is here's just a tip in general is if you are sailing a quantum class Royal Caribbean ship that has bumper cars, go the first day because the lines are always shorter and people don't realize, right? It's sort of like pack your bathing suit. The tips I tell them, pack your bathing suit in your carry-on baggage if you want to swim and go to the
Yeah.
bumper cars. But don't forget you can't bumper cars in your swimsuit. That's it. That's the only thing. You need closed-toed shoes for the bumper cars.
Another tip I would give is go to the Cafe 270 on day one for lunch. Don't
Yeah.
go to the Windjammer.
Unless you've got kids like mine who are like, no, it has to be the Windjammer. Like, but that's another story. Yeah, I would much rather do Cafe 270 for lunch that first day. Yeah, absolutely.
Solarium.
Yeah,
Solarium.
totally. There's so many other options, right? For tips for anybody cruising at any time, right? And if you're start class, you get you should get chops.
Well,
Yeah.
Coastal Kitchen for lunch.
Oh yes, that's right. Right. My favorite. People who have listened already know that Coastal Kitchen is my favorite Royal Caribbean restaurant. Period.
Yes,
Like,
yes. I went on, I did a junior suite, and with the junior suite, you can go to Coastal Kitchen, but just for dining, for dinner.
yes.
And took, I went first, I think on Star Class, and then I went on a junior suite with my husband, and he is very big into chops, and he was like, "Oh, well, have we got a dining package?" And I went, "No, we're junior suite, so we're going to Coastal Kitchen every night." And he
Yep.
was like, "What? Well, what about chops?" I'm like, "Forget it."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He loved it.
Yeah. Me too. Like, I don't need a dining package. Like, if I'm in a junior suite or above, I'm like, nope, I'm good with Coastal Kitchen. That's all. That's it.
So true. So true. And with the ultimate dining package with Star Class, you also get chef's table. So if you had buying it just by itself, it's a certain price for chef's table. Even if you have, I think the unlimited dining package is still like a $20 or a $50 fee to add that. But Star Class, it's just included. And then
Yeah.
with Star Class, you also get the bridge tour. So that's
So
included.
cool. Yep.
Unfortunately, we have the North Star wasn't working at the time, so we couldn't utilize that. But that would have been an extra cost. iFly is an extra cost, but it's all included with Star Class.
Amazing. Amazing. Interesting. I think in the US and North America, iFly is included. I don't think, at least it wasn't the last time I did iFly. I've done it twice. It's been included both times.
Yeah, okay. So, well, in Australia, if it's during a port day, it is free. But if it's a sea day, then there's a charge.
Huh. Interesting. On different, depending on where you are in the world, there are going to be little nuances. So I have a
Yeah.
question for you about dining. Have you ever dined in what is it? Park Central Park 150? What is the name of that restaurant? I'm blanking on it now.
Yeah, I think
150 Central Park.
there we go.
150
Yeah,
Central Park.
yeah.
So compare 150 Central Park to Coastal Kitchen for me.
Okay. Um, Now that you say that, I can kind of see similarities. So,
Yeah.
and we've got nothing like that in Australia because we don't have any Oasis class ships here. So I've only been to 150 Central Park once, and that was in 2018. But my favorite was the salt, the 8
Yeah.
different salt. That was just delicious. But yeah, I can see you can say similar.
Yeah, because I've never eaten there because every time I've looked at it, I've been like, "Oh, this is like Coastal Kitchen, like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to." So, I was just curious since we were talking about food.
Yeah, I can see that though. Now that you say that.
Good, I'm glad my instinct was right. So, I just wanted to also point out something you said about having your seats saved in the theater, and what you said was so interesting, and that is that you told the genie where you wanted to sit.
Mhm.
So I always just assumed that those were the seats that were reserved and that's where you sit. It never even occurred to me to say, no, I actually want to sit like in the upper balcony, or I don't want to sit in the second row. I prefer to sit like 5 rows back. Right. And also the idea of having a drink waiting for me, like, yeah, that never occurred to me either.
Amazing. A drink. Sometimes, depending on the show, there's popcorn. But absolutely different um, venues. You choose where you want to sit. And some
Yeah.
of them we would say to the genie, like they would know which is the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
We personally in the Royal Theatre, we wanted to be down the front. So we had front row. When we were in 270, the theatre there, it was sort of in the middle, sort of middle of middle.
Yeah. You got to be middle of middle at 270. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
again, the Royal Genie knows everything and knows everyone, and they'll obviously give their best answers and stuff. So it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. So what about anything, tell us about your Crown Loft suite and what were some of the luxurious features about the stateroom?
Yep. So they had sort of a dining table in in the loft suite, but they also had a table out on the balcony, so you could have food. You can have your any restaurant's food delivered to your room, so you could stay in for that night. Not that we ever did, but what we would do is at the end, sort of day 6 and day 7, we had lunch delivered to our room. So any
Yeah.
restaurant we liked, we pre-ordered, and at 12 midday, ding dong, and they brought what we wanted. And that was also nice. We did that pre-ordered for Jamie's Italian because we wanted to do something after and we just wanted to save time. So we
Yeah.
pre-ordered and then we turned up to the restaurant and they already had what we wanted. So that was really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not even
Like,
in your room. It was just like, yeah, that's really nice. Yeah.
it was very seamless. It was like, gee, I'd like to go to every restaurant and already have ordered.
Yeah.
That was good. With the amenities were great. Shampoo, conditioner compared to, in the
Yeah.
other staterooms. They have the fully stocked fridge and you can order any drinks you want to be put in that fridge. And I'm not a coffee drinker, but they have a coffee machine, coffee
Yeah.
pods there as well. Um, the most difficult thing was, though, the curtains.
Yeah.
So they have, those sheer ones that you kind of can see through, but people
Hmm.
can't see in. And then they have the fully sort of full curtains. And I had to get a tutorial on how to open and close
Right.
each set of curtains. So I got there in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Like press this button, but not that button. And,
Yeah.
otherwise, and the crown
I,
molding.
I recorded it, so I know
Yeah.
how to do it. I'm an expert now. You can invite me anytime into your loft suites to do your curtains.
And the crown loft suite, is that the one that's got like the giant window in front where you can just see everything? It's
Yeah.
two story, obviously, because of crown loft.
Yeah, so you walk in, and either side, depending on what cabin you're in, there's a bathroom, and then there's a bathroom on one side, stairs on the other. You go further on, you have your dining table. There's a huge lounge that can turn into a king size bed, TV, like I said, your fridge. Then you go out into your balcony. You have some deck chairs and lounge chairs, your table. And then, like I said, you're looking at the aft, the wake of the ship is beautiful. And then the 2-story windows. You go upstairs, you have a king size bed, you have closet space galore.
Yeah.
There was four doors, and then a huge bathroom.
I always find it, because we were talking about the laundry, I always just find it so amusing that you have all that closet space. And I'm like, I don't need to bring this many clothes.
Yes. But
I could just
I
put
wanted
another kid in here.
to back and talk about the
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, the coveted purple CPAS card. And yeah,
right,
they
Star
still
Club.
have are they still using, um,
Wow, brand.
the WoW bands? Yeah, for Star Class?
So I didn't realize, and I guess you don't until you stay in it, though, that so that's your C pass card, is that, yeah, purple, and the staff can see it if you're wearing the lanyard. I don't wear lanyards. I'm happy to wear the WoW band, and it worked really well. And but the the crew and staff can see straight away that you're star class, and they do give you a little bit of extra attention, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's also part of luxury, is like that extra service, right? Like having your genie have your drink already at your seat when you get there. Like that's just a higher level of service. Any other like areas of the service that you really could tell was
Well, I don't know if I should say. So
scope?
Blair, we told our genie, like, do not do what she did, but she did it. So we wanted to have a sort of a morning in the solarium, and we said we'll go there at about 9, and find a place to set up and have a swim and chill out. And she went up there at 6 in the morning and like put out her stuff and say just a seat.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that." But, like, that was really nice of her.
Yeah, yeah, because it's hard to beat those, especially if it's a sea day. It's hard to beat those people who get out at like 5:30, 6 a.m. to mark out their spot. So if your genie's willing to do that, like, yeah, nice.
Bless her.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because these days the solarium, I don't know if on Quantum at the time, but they've got those big, cushy sort of like, they look like genie in a bottle. I don't know. They probably, yeah, yeah. Those are so nice. I love those. I love those. How about in the ports? Anything did you do anything specifically luxurious in the ports?
We
And was there anything?
So when we were in Numia, we stayed on board the ship because we wanted to really utilize the ship itself, just hang out and embrace all of the star class. On Quantum, the star, what is it? The suite deck for
Mhm.
outside is at back overlooking the swimming pool. There's not much on that suite deck, so it's
Yeah.
not really utilized that much. But Mystery Island, we got off and I paid extra for a beach hut, and you get drinks and some snacks, a massage, and it's right on the beach. And so that was the highlight as well.
Nice. And was that a Royal Caribbean excursion or did you do that through a private
Oh,
vendor?
just it's just by itself. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And so what was that excursion? Just in case people want those. So this was Mystery Island.
Yeah, so you can walk around the island in about 40 minutes, and they have 8 beach huts on the island. And yeah, you can just hire out a beach hut for they do a morning session and an afternoon session. I always do the afternoon session so I don't have to rush off.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great.
Oh, that sounds really, really amazing. That sounds so good. And it was, you said it was a 7 day. Where else did you go on the 7 day?
And Port Villa. I don't know I can't remember what I did in Port Villa. We've done these ports. So in Australia, if you go to the South Pacific, it's New Caledonia, Mystery Island, and Port Villa, Vanuatu. They're basically the
Yeah.
only port that
It's like,
that
it's like a Southern, it's like a Eastern Caribbean cruise here or Western Caribbean. It's like the same ports. Except like for us, we're like, oh, the South Pacific, like Vanuatu,
yeah.
like,
I know it
are we
sounds
on
more
Survivor? Like, it's like, oh, I know Vanuatu.
well, I'd love to. I was booked on a Fijian cruise, but there was a cyclone and I never got there. But I will
Oh,
get there.
yeah, hopefully, hopefully. So if you had to sum up your Star Class experience on this cruise, what would it be?
That if you can do it, I would definitely do it again. If all the stars aligned, like I said, if you're happy to, um, like I said, get the points to go to Coastal Kitchen, to have the unlimited dining package. Like I said, we do that dining package a lot. Not the ultimate, but at least three at least per cruise, 3 nights. Um, the shows. What I think a benefit also was for myself was that I'd been on Quantum of the Seas, I don't know, at least probably 8 times before that. And it was also nice leading into it. I was on the ship a month before the Star Class, and I was going around and just introducing myself and saying, "Oh, I'm going to be back next month in Star Class," you know. So I sort of started to get kind of a little bit of special sort of
Right.
service beforehand, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Really just sort of like prime the crew to be like, look for me. Yeah. Amazing. So let's just ask a couple of questions of all of the guests. Stepping away from this particular cruise, how do you define luxury?
I was gonna say having someone else organize it, but I love organizing it, but just being preemptive, like just knowing that I'm gonna want a certain item or a thing or um being it personalized to me. So
Hmm.
that sort of, welcome back, Pippa, that kind
Yeah.
of luxury that
Yeah.
just meaningful and memorable
Yeah.
situation.
I get it. Do you think that this trip met that expectation for you?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm,
Yeah.
I love it.
That's good. That's awesome. Do you have any other luxurious travel planned in the near future, cruise or otherwise?
Well, I'm always looking. My next cruise, I'm in a junior suite on Ovation. So, and that's 9 nights. What I will say with the Star Class, it was 7 nights. I would have absolutely loved if it was just one more night. I find
Yeah.
sort of 8 nights, it's just, you don't have to start packing as soon.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to my next cruise. 9 nights in a junior suite. Well, it's a guaranteed junior suite, so who knows? I might get lucky and I might get something more.
Yeah, and you might get what they call, now they have some of their that are like this might get a Sky Junior, um, and that gives you actually Sky class benefits, right? Yeah,
Amenities.
like right,
Yeah, that would be
yeah.
nice.
What is your dream cruise? Any dream cruises?
Um, well, I came back, I did Icon in April and I was blown away with that ship. I loved it. As far as destinations, because of working on board for 8 years, it's really hard for me to not be biased in regards to I love Key West, but I love it because of the memories I have from Key West.
Yeah,
I did a year out of Miami to the Bahamas, 3 and 4 night cruises for a year. Coco Cay, I've been to over 50 times. It's
yeah,
changed a lot.
yeah,
Uh, but anywhere in the Caribbean, I love the Caribbean. But
yeah,
again, it's memories.
yeah. So just your dream cruise is just maybe going back to relive those fond memories of when you were working on the ship.
True, true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. I love that. I love that. Well, this has been so, so much fun. Please, I know you have so much content. Tell people where, they can follow you. I know you've got group cruises if they want to cruise with you.
Yeah.
Tell us all the
Yeah, absolutely. So they can find me on Facebook, Ocean Time. I also have a website, www.oceantime.com.au. And that is correct. I do have group cruises this November on Quantum, 9 nights to the South Pacific. Then we have 17 nights on Anthem of the Seas, going from Hawaii to Sydney. Amazing. We also have then a New Year's cruise. And I don't know if you've cruised New Year's, but I absolutely love it. Everything is taken care of for you for that New Year's Eve party. And that's actually in December 2025 on Voyager out of Brisbane. So if anyone wants to come on down under, we're all about
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. And Anthem personally is my favorite. I've been on all the new ones. Like I haven't been on Utopia yet, but I've been on everyone up until I want to say Harmony.
uh-huh.
And Anthem is one of my absolute, if not my absolute favorite. And a lot of it
Oh,
is the memories, right, that were
yeah.
created on Anthem. But yeah, love Anthem.
Well,
So
nice. Yeah,
big plug for that as a group cruise. 14, did you say
yeah,
17 days?
yes. So Hawaii to Sydney, and that's like so many sea days. And this is a huge tip, I think. Cruising that way over the international date line, you gain an hour. 5 days in
Yep.
a row, you gain an hour every day. So
Yep.
whether that means you can stay up an extra hour or you can sleep in an extra hour.
Beautiful.
Also, being from Australia, I can fly to Hawaii, I can stay there for a week, do some shopping, and then get on board the ship, and I don't have to worry about excess luggage. So I am excited.
That
And
is a luxury vacation. That sounds amazing. Amazing.
oh, and that's it. And I get to cruise home, you know?
That's the other part too, right? Like you don't have a long, 17-hour plane ride after the cruise. It's so hard to get on that plane after the cruise because I don't live in a cruise port. And that flight home is just
Yeah.
tough. It is tough. Well, thank you again. This has been fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you.